He's not gonna be here, so I gotta pick on him. And watch him change his mind and take it and slap me or something.
Call to order the regular council meeting for the town of Evansville. May I have roll call, please?
Mayor Chad Edwards.
Here.
Councilmember Joe Novosky, excuse me, Councilmember.
Who they are, what we know about them, and then we do have a few questions that we'd like to ask each of you. So with that, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. We have Beverly. You want to start us off?
Nice to see everybody. My name is Beverly Eilick. I have lived at 45 Williams here in Evansville for 20 years. And let's see, right now my job is I work at an assisted living facility and I'm the senior dietitian. I love my job. Absolutely love my job. There have been some issues in Evansville in the past on in my side of the town. And I would like to represent some of us who don't get heard. And I would really, let's see, when Dan was here, the City Works gentleman, we started the Gateway Project, which was great. We had churches volunteering, cleaning, all that stuff. And then Dan no longer worked here. So, and we never did get it restarted, but I would like to start that again. That was great. That big church up on Second. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's in my book, but boy, we had 50 volunteers right now. And they went along the tracks. They went everywhere. They did. It was great. It was super. I would like to get that started again. As far as being one of the city council members, I would like to be one of the city council members that if you're too nervous to get up here, if you're too nervous to call the police or whatever, hey, give me an email, do whatever you got to do. Because I've been there. I know what it's like to not be heard, or you feel like you're not being heard. We'll put it that way. But yeah, I would love, I've been here for a long time, same address for the longest time. And I would just like to represent some of us who haven't been able to say what we want to and look into some things. I want to find out more about the zoning and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I would really, really like to start that Gateway Project again, but we'll talk about that. Even if whatever happens, I still want to talk to you about it, because that really was great. That worked out really well. And Dan and I were going to set up like maybe getting food supplied for them or something like that, drinks even, some water, because boy, they were all over it. They loved it. So maybe we could do that again. But yeah, I would really like to be on the city council. That would be terrific. Thank you.
We have a few questions.
Oh yeah, look at me. I'm just leaving. Right on.
So Beverly, can you describe what being on council means to you?
It means a lot to me because like I said, I've been where I've been. I feel like I've been, there are some certain situations that have come up in the past that I felt I couldn't talk to anybody or anything like. So I would like to be the city council member that, anybody could say, look, I'm having a problem with the police, or I'm having a problem with this. Can you help me? Just for someone to hear me, that would be great. That's kind of who I'd like to, that's why I'd like to do it. And I would like to, when there's new businesses moving in, I would like to be the city council member that actually finds out more about the business, how close they are to residences, how noisy they are, all these things. That's just something I would like to look into. Mm-hmm.
Beverly?
Yeah.
What qualities do you have that will contribute to council?
Oh boy. Well, let's see. I'm pretty much a leader. I think I'm a leader. At work, I'm a leader. I'm a team player for sure. I mean, that's a big deal to me. That's a huge deal to me. As far as that, I have a lot of past experiences that could give some light information. I was a semi truck driver for 4 years. Let's see, I managed a band in Minneapolis, St. Paul. I don't know if that would help at all, but let's see, managed a truck stop for 12 years. Let's see, what else did I do? I graduated from the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department Citizens Law Enforcement Academy, and that was terrific. That was great. Did not get into law enforcement, but always have been interested and always looking into that. But I didn't want to, and I'll be honest, I didn't want to be a police officer in Minneapolis. That was the truth. You're welcome.
What areas do you feel confident in, and what areas do you feel are challenging for you as a person?
Confident in, let's see, what I do for a living, I'm very confident in. We'll put it that way. I feel that, well, if there was ever a problem, if there's anything like that, most people come to me for help. So I feel like I'm kind of a leader. And I think I can always, and my problem is, and I don't know if it's a problem or not, but I do a lot of research before I answer anything. So if somebody's looking into something or wants to know something, or even if I want to look up something, I try to find everything out about the situation. Weakness, gosh, I think, well, for reals, sometimes I would like to have more knowledge. I don't have a computer at home right now, and I would like to have more time with my family, but I work a lot. But that's okay. That's my other family. So other than that, I don't think I have any other weaknesses except for I spread myself too thin sometimes.
All right, Beverly, could you tell me, do you have any individual goals for council, and what direction you'd like to see the town moving forward in?
Okay. As far as, well, I told you one of my goals. I would really like to do that gateway thing. If we could talk about it again, that would be terrific. Evansville wise, there are some issues that I have personally with the zoning. So I would like to learn more about that, see what can be done, if anything, just situations like that. As far as Evansville, when I first moved here 20 years ago, there was so many things. There was so many community projects. There was Christmas light pageants. There was parades. There was all kinds of things. There was a town council letter that came out in the mail, in our PO boxes, updating all the stuff from the chief of police, from the mayor. I love that. That would be terrific if we could do that again. And I know probably it's online now, I'm sure, but it was nice to have the piece of paper. You know what I mean? To look everything up and to see. They used to have the haunted house at the fire department. I don't know if they still do that. That's great. Love stuff like that. If we could get some, the other idea I had was maybe getting some troubled youth. If there was something that we could have them do, maybe clean something up, or, because there's a lot of graffiti around right now again. So something like that. And it'll make everything look nice. The Gateway Project would be nice to start up again. Mm-hmm.
All right. What is your stance on collectively working as a team?
Love it. Love everything about it. And that's how everything should be done every time, everywhere, every situation. Worst part about any situation, work, anywhere at all, is communication. Because everybody jumps to conclusions and everybody has their own opinion. But before anybody even figures anything out, blah. So yeah, teamwork is essential to every situation that anybody's in. And that's family, work. That for the council, that would be great. That's where I'm at. I think I'm a team leader, and it doesn't necessarily need to be a leader, but just to be, just to be involved and to be able to be heard. And as far as team goes, that's what it's all about, man. Everything needs to be team together. You're welcome.
How do you handle differing opinions?
I think very good. I deal with that at work a lot. Situations where, the younger generation and I, there's a big age difference at my job. Some people are 16, I'm 55 years old. It's nice to hear the younger opinion, and it's nice to hear our opinion, and it's nice to hear everybody else's opinion about whatever the situation is, and then work it out, figure it out, maybe give some advice if possible, and as far as being, in a situation, me personally, I like to find everything out about everything that I can find out. And then I always tell people, look, I'm not the flowing well of wisdom, but this is a situation you could maybe handle this way or this way. Communication is everything. And work as a team and respect everyone. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care gender or anything. I don't care. You respect everyone. Everyone.
All right, Beverly, I've got to save the hardest one for last.
Okay.
If you were selected for the council position, would you be willing to run for re-election in November?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Nice. Very nice. Yes, I would.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Appreciate you.
you're welcome.
All right, next up, we have Mr. Walt Behrens. Did I get that correct?
My name is Walt Behrens. I live at 1079 Cielo Vista. I've lived there for 10 years now. Raised my 2 kids there. Medically retired right now due to some neck injuries due to a car crash. But other than that, I'm capable of doing lots of things. Would like to be on the council to help out. I see a lot of the department heads and a lot of the workers and stuff doing things that they need some help with, and would be willing to go and help when they're doing those projects. That way 1 or 2 guys aren't always stuck with all the, with most of the work. There's some projects around town that I've seen that I'd like to try to improve, try to better. One of them is the road on Reshaw Park. A lot of potholes, pretty rough, hard to get back and forth. I think that's the only side I've seen in existence for probably 20 years. Grant money to help get that road taken down there, possibly get some more people using that park. It's a beautiful area. And driving through there, there's some tumbleweed issues and that kind of stuff, but there's ways we can take care of that. I know there's fire trucks around, and we can get rid of some Russian olives and some tumbleweeds and stuff at the same time. So other than that, I know there's some issues with the water from the tank down to the city that we possibly need to maybe upgrade due to the size. There's possibility of, looking for some money for that. The new road from Veteran to the landfill. If you drive it, please go slow, because if you don't, your shocks will be gone. We need to get a blade in there and do some work there, possibly pave it, if we can get some money to do that too. And I know there's some grant money and some stuff out there that we can possibly look at, to get. So.
Great, thank you. Could you describe what it means being on council to you?
To me, it means helping out my town, my community, and the citizens here. We've done, you folks have done a lot of improvements. One definitely is the Aspen's trailer court. I mean, that is a major improvement. I can remember when I was a little kid driving from Douglas up here, you'd drive through and you'd see the trees and the grass and everything. And then when I moved up to this area, and at that time I worked for the gas company, I'd carry 36-inch pipe wrench with me when I went through there, because you never knew what was coming at you, a dog or somebody else. So it looks beautiful now. Streets are nice. They're doing wonderful work up there. I know I want to be part of that, try to help out making our town better. Would like to see some more activities and stuff. I know our 100th anniversary is coming up next year. I volunteered to help out with that committee. There's a lot of stuff we can do to just keep it going. I like it when the fire department and the police department and that go through and do their lights and sirens for Christmas and Halloween and that. And it's a lot of fun. Nice to see them do it.
Thank you.
What qualities do you have that will contribute to the council?
Well, like I say, I worked for the gas company, so I know quite a bit about some of the issues of putting in utilities, the easements and the setbacks and that kind of stuff. I know you guys have sold some land over by Reshaw Park for some new homes, for 80 some homes. There's a lot of dirt work that's going to be needing done over there. That kind of stuff. Of course, the contractor will be doing his stuff. But you know, there's going to be issues with water lines and the easements and the gas lines and all that kind of stuff. I've got knowledge on that. I've got quite a bit of knowledge on equipment, backhoes, forklifts, that kind of stuff to help out if they need help with other projects around town. Kind of a jack of all trades. If you have something, if I can't figure out how to do it, I got other people that can help figure it out. You know, can fix just about anything, but sometimes, except for my neck, of course, but
What areas do you feel confident in and what areas are a challenge for you as a person?
I feel confident in being able to help people and to be able to help out with projects and to help the council and the rest of the town and the citizens. One of the things that I'm not real confident in is I have a tendency to try to please everybody instead of, you know, working on one thing. That's an issue that I've been working on for quite a while in my life. If I get too many people coming at me, I just try to make sure everybody's happy. And if it takes most of my time, that's what it takes.
All right, Walt, what are your individual goals for council and what direction would you like to see the town moving forward in?
Well, I like the way the town's going so far. We've annexed in some new areas. I know there's some opportunities to annex possibly some more areas. So I want to keep seeing our town grow and become a good town. You know, it's a good town now, but I don't want to get to the point where we're so big that we forget to be a good town. You know, there's a fine line in between being good and then just being a town. I've lived in Douglas, and that's one of those towns that they've crossed that line several times. And I won't say it's a bad town now. It's a good town again, but there for a while it wasn't. And so I'd like to see us grow and continue to be the town that we are now.
All right. Well, what is your stance on collectively working as a team?
Well, I spent 15 years as a volunteer fireman in Douglas. So teamwork is a major thing. You got to rely on each other and you got to work together. You always get one or two that wants to go off and do their own thing. You know, if they can handle that and do that, that's, you know, more power to them. But I feel better if we work together and everybody knows what's going on, especially as a council, because if you have different citizens and stuff come and ask one of us a question and somebody else is handling that project and you don't know anything about it, it doesn't make you look very good. So I'd like to work as a team and make sure we stay a team. Yes, sir.
How do you handle differing opinions?
I got an 18-year-old and a 22-year-old. So different opinions are a very major thing in my life. I try to look at the consequences of both sides. and give them the options of what those consequences are, good and bad, and then try to help them make the right decision. Would try to work that same way with other people, not just my kids, but other people around town. Just one of those major things, you got to be able to work together.
All right, Walt, if you're chosen for the council seat, are you willing to run for re-election in November?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next up we have Daisha Edwards.
Evening, Mayor Edwards, as well as the fellow councilmen's attorneys and public at home. Hello. I have been in Evansville. This is my second time back in Evansville. I started out here very young as a young mom right across the street in the apartments. And then I had a house built, and then we outgrew our house and we found our house back in Evansville, and it was the best place that I could have been. I enjoy the neighborhood that I'm at, the smaller, the hometown stuff. I have children at home, as well as I have many foster kids that have come in and out of our home. So we try to make it the best for what we can with the situations that we have here.
Could you describe what being on council means to you?
Being on council to me would be, first of all, it'd be a great joy to serve my community. I try to serve when I can. My community, different people who need help, whether it be the elderly, whether it be my neighbors, maybe it be the older person on the street that needs help shoveling. I try to help them. So being on council, I think would help me be able to help the people of our community.
Daisha, what qualities do you have that will contribute to the council?
The qualities that I have is I'd say I'm a very strong leader, as well as I am a very strong team member. I'm able to work together as a team to get to break down a bigger project to help get different things done, or the task that I have at hand. I'm able to complete the task, as well as help my other council members if maybe they need some help with something that they're doing. I don't mind asking questions, as well as helping out with whatever needs done.
What areas do you feel confident in and what areas are challenging for you as a person?
Confidence, I would definitely say public speaking is something that I'm very confident in. I have no problem speaking in front of people, whether it be 2 people or 300 people. I enjoy helping different people out. Can you repeat the second part of the question again, please?
What do you find to be challenging for you as a person?
To be challenged for me as a person, I would definitely say is that I help too, and I don't want to say too much, but I try to help everyone.
All right, Daisha, what are your individual goals for council?
I say would be to work with the townspeople to improve some of the different potholes that I have seen in town, as well as one of my biggest projects, because I do have children in the community, would be to improve the park that's right over here. The sandbox, there's a lot of different weeds and different things. And when I go to the park with my kids, we usually try to carry a bag or just go for a walk and try to leave it better than what we found it. And that's really what my goal is for council, is to improve or help things grow instead of just letting it be stagnant and lay. I'd really like to help the parks, as well as when I'm walking in the summer and the evening time. I enjoy walking, so I would like to see maybe a little bit of the weeds in different areas in the park be more able to be useful. I was able to go down to our park and have a barbecue during the eclipse, and it is very nice. It's nice to have the water flowing, and when I'm on my walks, I go and sit on the little benches and just take a little breather. And so it's nice to just be able to enjoy what we have. Another thing that I would like to see is on the new addition that we do have is maybe a speed limit sign when you're transferring over from Casper to Evansville, so that people do know what that speed limit is and it is posted. Thank you.
What is your stance on collectively working as a team?
working as a team, I think, is great. I enjoy working with people as a team to get whatever project we're working on, to get it done and get it completed on time, if not sooner, or to help if we are behind on something or we can't per se make up our minds on something, is help each person with the task, as well as to do my own part with the task that I'm giving.
How do you handle differing opinions?
Well, I think the biggest thing that you can do is to listen to everyone's opinion, whether you agree or disagree, and then you can listen to what they have to say, validate what they have to say, as well as give your, whether it be your facts or your different estimates or whatever it is, whatever the topic is, to maybe not per se sway the person in your to go for what you want, but more or less to just show the facts, show what the numbers are, and see how it is and how it can improve, or how our suggestion would be better.
All right, Daisha, if you were chosen as the successful council member, would you be willing to run for election in November?
I would enjoy running for election in November. I would like to come in, see what it's about, and learn some things, and then continue to grow with the town as long as I would be elected by our townspeople to continue to do great works for what Evansville has.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, and then finally we have Phil Gerke.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. Just to let you know just a little bit about myself. I grew up in a small town, a lot like Evansville in Montana. I moved here in 1979. Lived in Natrona County ever since then. I've done everything from manage a $80 million a year company to stock shelves at Target at night to try and make a living after the oil field went bust. So, and I've officiated for like almost 30 years, did volleyball and basketball. We moved to Evansville about 5 years ago. We live at 644 Eagle Trail. When we were looking for a place to move to, I'd always really liked Evansville, and our other house, we'd lived there for almost 30 years. So we were just looking for a place to live, and I kind of like the small town atmosphere. And it's, to me, very convenient. And I remember the first winter I was here, I was really impressed because the snowplow actually came down our street. So I thought, hey, this is a really good deal. And it's kind of reminds me of being back home. We've got a neighbor around the corner that brings out his tractor every time it snows and comes around and does everybody's sidewalk. And you just don't see that in a lot of places. And we did have an opportunity to leave the Casper area when we sold our other place, but we decided to stay here. This is where our kids had grown up, and we just like it here and always just wanted to stay here.
Phil, what does being on council mean to you?
Well, back in the 80s when I was worked for the city as I was in charge of all the sports programs and stuff. I had to go to city council meetings all the time in case one of the council members had a question or the city manager had a question. And I thought, you know what, I'd really like to be able to do that someday. And I just feel like I have a lot to contribute. I've done a lot. I've been a lot of places. I don't have any axes to grind. I don't really have any big complaints about anything. So, and back in the end of 2019, I had, before that, I traveled all the time. So I just didn't have the opportunity and didn't think I'd be able to do this. And I'd thought about running for council the last time, but I'd talked to Kathleen, and she was really excited about trying to get on the council. And I thought, you know what? I don't want to run against her. I'd rather vote for her than to run against her. So I kind of put things off, but now I'm in a position where I have finally have some time where I think I could really contribute.
Phil, what qualities do you have that will contribute to the council?
Well, I've been pretty much in management my whole life. I've always had to work with people. I've managed companies that had, 200 employees. I had an insurance agency where I had 2 or 3 employees. So, I've done a lot of things along that line. I've got an accounting background. When I got out of college, I had studied to be a teacher, and I just like people. I mean, I just like being around them.
What areas do you feel confident in, and what areas do you feel are challenging for you as a person?
Well, I'm pretty confident in my abilities. At my age, I've been around a lot of blocks, not just one, and probably patience. Maybe I'm kind of one of those people that if something's supposed to be done by Friday, it needs to be done by Friday. And Thursday would be better. So that's probably the one place where my patience gets tried a little bit sometimes.
All right, Phil, what are your individual goals for council, and what direction would you like to see the town moving forward in?
Well, I think the town's got a lot to offer that they're doing right now. I don't have anything really specific. I mean, you could talk about a pothole or a stop sign or maybe a neighbor that's got his weeds growing up or something like that. But I think that stuff all kind of takes care of itself. But I just feel like it's really important that money be spent in a manner like I'm spending my own money, and so that we could get the most good out of what there is. I'm pretty fiscally conservative. I'm a big believer in you don't spend money you don't have, and to just make sure that when we go in to do things that we have a plan.
Phil, what is your stance on collectively working as a team?
I think my whole life I've had to work as a team. I didn't always agree with what the team was doing, but I think everybody's entitled to their opinion, and sometimes you have to use some give and take, even though something you may think might not be the greatest idea in the world. I think once that decision is made, that you need to do everything you can help to make sure that succeeds.
How do you handle differing opinions?
Differing opinions? Well, I think you gotta listen. You gotta be polite, okay? And everybody's got their own opinion about things, and I think you have to respect that. And I think to me as a council person, we're here to represent the people that are members of our community, and I think we need to listen to them. And I guess when I hear that people don't feel like they're being listened to, that kind of bothers me a little bit. I just think it's really important, even if you don't agree with them, to try and make sure that they understand where the council's coming from or where I'm coming from, and just do the best we can to try and keep everybody happy. And I don't think there's any way to keep everybody happy all the time. It's just not going to happen.
All right, Phil, if you were chosen to fill the council position, would you be willing to run for election in November?
Yes.
All right. All questions?
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, do I have a motion to go into executive session?
I'll motion that.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
We'll be back. Thank you. Oh, Time is 7:36.